Hello, I'm Fernanda Smith, Realtor with Keller Williams, and I'm based in the Orlando, Florida area. On this tutorial, you're going to learn about the credit report, the FICO score, and the buying process. So stay tuned all the way to the end. In addition, if you're new to my channel, this is a great time to subscribe so you can have access to all my videos and the new to come. Thank you for watching. You decided to buy a house and you don't know where to start. There are 3 things that you need to have in order to start the buying process. Number 1, do you have at least 3.5% of the sales price to put down on a house? On a $300,000, that will be equals $10,500. Do you have a 5%? Do you have 20% to put down? 20% of 300,000 is equal to $60,000. Keep in mind, if you are financing a property with less than 20% down, you will be exposed to be paying a PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. This will be calculated by your lender and it will be added into your payment. Number 2, do you have enough money to pay towards closing costs? There are sometimes government programs available, but not everyone qualifies for, so you need to be prepared. In addition, there are several types of loans that allows friends or family members to help you with this. The money given to you, though, it must be given as a gift to you. And there is a process. So make sure you can discuss it with your friends and family initially, but don't move or don't transfer any money to you until you discuss it with the lender, because there is a process in place in order for you to be able to receive the assistance in this manner. Now, if you are buying the property cash, closing cost is about 2% of the sales price. On a $300,000, it will be about $6,000. If you are going to finance this property, keep in mind that closing costs, it will be about 6% of the purchase amount. For example, on a $300,000, that will be about $18,000. Now, you may ask yourself, why is that difference between a cash transaction with a 2% down and a finance transaction with a 6% down? The difference is with financing is what you will need to pay to your lender to process your loan. So now you know. In conclusion, thus far, you must add what you need for a down payment plus the closing costs. Is your FICO score 660 or even higher? The higher the FICO score is, the better loan programs and interest rates that you will qualify for. Now, there are several models in regards to FICO score. For example, when you pull your own credit report or even apply for a credit card or the permanent store, the FICO score given is usually higher than when you apply or call to a mortgage company. Credit cards and department stores companies will fall under a certain model of a FICO, and its requirements are a little bit lower than when you apply for a mortgage. Did you know that? So bottom line, you may pull your own credit report in the morning and you may call the first lender and their FICO score given, it may be lower. For example, when you pull your own credit report, you may have a FICO score of 760. But when you call immediately right after to the lender, and you may ask the lender, by the way, what is my FICO score? The lender may say that your FICO score is maybe 740. But you say, wait a minute, I just pulled my credit. I have it on my hands. And it says clearly 760. What are you talking about? What are you telling me that is 740? Well, the reason why is because, again, the lenders, the banks, they work with a totally different model than when you pull your own credit report. And that's why it may come down. It always comes down. The reason I'm explaining all this to you is because you may be on that borderline in regards to your FICO score. So you have to be very cautious if that's the case. Because again, when the lender will pull your credit, will bring that number a little bit down. So if you happens to be on that borderline, just give me a call. Let me know what your FICO score is, and I'll let you know what possibilities you have. There are several lenders out there, and as a matter of fact, I do work with a mortgage broker that works with many lenders. Therefore, they have different programs. Sometimes you may qualify with a 580 FICO score. So again, just, pull your credit first and see where you stand, because not many banks may approve you if you are on that bottom line in regards to the FICO score. If you would like to check your credit score, here is how. If you're ready to buy, meaning that you have the down payment, you have your FICO score is what it needs to be, and you have the closing costs, and you're ready to move, then you can start shopping around to get the best deals out there in regards to mortgages. Now, if you're not planning to move in a year from now, then stop. Don't do anything. Continue saving money. Continue making your payments on your credit cards, lowering as much as you can, paying off your student loans if you have any, etc., etc. Now, if you're ready to move, then you will start calling the lenders. I work with several lenders and mortgage brokers that I can refer you when the time comes. Now, there is a myth out there that you cannot shop around with several lenders because it will affect your FICO score negatively. Every time you call a lender, the lender will pull your credit, and therefore that will be reported into your credit report. That is wrong. You're not buying a t-shirt, you're buying a house. It is expected for you to shop around for a mortgage loan to get the best deals that are out there, and you should do it. Now, there is a way of doing this. From the initial call that you start calling your lender, you will have the next 15 days to call and shop around to call as many banks as you need to. But if you have not made the decision within that time, any calls that you do after the 15 days from the initial call will be reported negatively on your credit report. So keep this in mind. It's very important, especially for those individuals that they have their FICO score on that borderline. Now, when you call a lender, they will pull your credit, they will ask questions and request some documents. So they need to verify it. The lender, at the time of the call, they may pre-qualify you based on the credit report and the information that you provide to them. Now, as soon as the lender receives all the documentation that has been requested from you, and as it gets verified, you will receive the pre-approval letter. I also heard another suggestion at one point where a lady was telling a potential buyer as an idea, let's, pull your own credit and email it or send it over or bring it over to all these different banks so they don't have to pull your credit. Well, even if the banks will talk to you and will look at the credit, until they actually pull your own credit, they are not going to be able to give you specifics. And if they don't give you specifics, how are you going to be able to truly shop around and compare from bank to bank who is giving you the best deals? So again, keep in mind the 15-day rule. Do and call as many banks as you need to, but then make a decision, and in that way you will know exactly what type of loan you are getting. Now, if you're buying a property cash, it is requested to have a proof of funds. A proof of funds is a bank letter that will bring the bank name and the logo, the name of the account, and the balance. The one thing that I will never ask, and please don't ever provide it, is the bank account number information. It's never required, and don't provide it for your own protection. Once that you obtain that letter, it will help to demonstrate to the seller that you are able, ready, and willing to buy their home. Once all your finances are all straight and you know exactly who the bank is going to be giving you the loan, what type of loan you are getting, what type of payments, interest rates, etc., you will need to start selecting the neighborhoods you want to live in. You need to make a list, maybe put 4 or 5 things to it. How many bedrooms, how many versus, 3 bedrooms versus 4 bedrooms. Is it 1 story, 2 story? Is it going to be in certain location, etc. Now, we will start to shop around, and you also will need to make a decision on what type of properties, meaning, is it going to be a condominium, a villa, a townhome, a single family? Among all of these properties, are you going to be selecting resales versus a new construction? Now, during this pandemic, there may be some homes that you may kind of have to look at online, and you may not have the complete access to them until the inspection period. So keep that in an open mind. Now, in regards to new construction, many people say, why to use a realtor when there is an agent on site? Well, the one on site, which is wonderful and professional, and I have nothing negative to say, they represent the seller, which is in this case the builder. don't you want to be represented and have your own representation? Um, so think about that. And also, how are you planning to find those new constructions? Are you going to drive around and then learn that it's way over your budget, etc., etc.? I have access to all new constructions, so I will be able to assist you with all of that. So when the time comes, just let me know. Another important thing that you must consider when you are searching is Homeowners Association, also known as the HOA. The HOA is a third-party company that will manage the community. The HOA usually covers the building insurance, general maintenance of the community, roof, pest control amenities for the condominiums, townhomes, and villas. The HOA manages the common areas for the single-family homes. Now, they do have rules and regulations that all the owners and their visitors will need to follow. This information is also good to have because each community has rules and regulations of their own. For example, some communities may not allow for business vehicles to be parked in front of the house. Some may allow only short-term rentals. Some communities may be 55 plus only. The HOA will charge a fee that can be monthly, quarterly, or yearly. You will need to add this charge to your monthly expenses. Also, keep in mind the HOA can go down and stay the same or go up in price. This is also considered a variable cost. Property taxes. Each property has their own property taxes. You should not rely on the seller's current property taxes as the amount of the property taxes that the buyer may be obligated on the subsequent year after the purchase. It will give you the idea though. Every year, property taxes can go up, stay the same, or come down. This is calculated on a yearly basis by the county where the property is located at. You should also add this into your monthly expenses. Now, you will pay property taxes on a yearly basis. Now, once that we come down to your lease and have a clear favorite, we are ready to make an offer on a home. This offer will be presented with either the pre-approval letter from your lender or the proof of funds if you're buying it cash to show the seller that you are able, willing, and ready to buy. Once that is being presented and all the terms has been accepted, including all the contingencies of your offer, and it gets fully signed and delivered, this offer becomes a fully executed contract. And now you are under contract. And this is your first celebration to be a step closer to become a homeowner. Yeah! Immediately after you receive the fully executed contract, you will need to send an escrow, or also known as a deposit. You will be receiving instructions generally from the title company or the attorney office, depending on who is closing the property. Now, the money will be held until closing time. An escrow on a cash transaction is about 10% of the sales price. So right after you send the escrow, we're starting with a home inspections. A home inspection is not required by the lender, but it's strongly recommended to order one, so you know exactly in what conditions the property is. This will be an expense out of closing prior to closing, but I strongly recommend it. There are several types of home inspections, but on this tutorial, I will cover the most popular ones, and those are the General Home Inspection. Is a non-invasive visual examination of the accessible areas to a residential property performed for a fee, in which is designed to identify defects within specific systems and components defined by these standards. They are both observed and deemed material by the inspector. The next one is the wind mitigation, and this type of inspection is usually required by the homeowner's insurance. The wind mitigation inspection is to determine the appropriateness of a given structure construction in the event of strong winds, such as those present in a hurricane. Wind mitigation inspections look for constructions features that has been shown to reduce losses in hurricanes. And the last one but not least is the WDO, also known as the termite inspection. WDO stands for wood destroying organism, and a proper WDO inspections looks for evidence of infestation by termites, both subterranean and dry wood types, wood decay, wood devouring beetles, as well as evidence of past infestations, damage to wood, etc. Right after the home inspections, you will need to order an appraisal. To appraise real property means to estimate its value. If you are financing the property, your lender will require an appraisal to determine the value of the property and conditions. This is another expense that you will have out of closing. You also may require an appraisal if you're buying it cash. An appraisal report will have two outcomes. One, it will be its value, and the other one, it will be the conditions of the property. On this regard, the appraiser will look for certain things that it may be required to pass by the type of loan that you may have. Again, this is not a home inspection. The appraisal will look just for certain things. For example, on an FHA loan, having a cracked window is a big no-no. So the seller will need to make the necessary repairs to get a clear appraisal report. Otherwise, your loan will not get approved, and we don't want that, right? If you're buying a property in the land and you are financing, especially if you are financing, it will be required to order a land survey. The surveyor will go into the property and measure the specifics of the lot that you are buying. You will receive a plat mat right at closing time. In addition, you will need, this is a great time to get some quotes and for homeowners insurance. I can help you with that. You will need to think about getting protected from fire, liability, weather, etc. You will need to shop around, and it will become effective on the closing date. And as soon as you receive the announcement from the title office or the attorney, whomever is closing, that you get a clear title, then we need to schedule a closing date and time for you to close your property and become a homeowner, whether it's for a home or investment property or a vacation home. It's a great time to celebrate. I just want to say thank you for choosing my tutorial. This is the time for you to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come, but just do it, subscribe. I would like to hear from you, so write comments below. I hope they're all good. And also, if you need a realtor in the Orlando area, please contact me. Whether you are a buyer or a seller, I would like to assist you through the entire process. I am Fernanda Smith, Realtor with Keller Williams, and until next time, thank you very much.